The Eagles' search for an offensive coordinator continues, and while some people panic, I say, just get it right. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Kick Dick back here, and I would love to come on here and say, breaking news, breaking mother humping news. We got a new offensive coordinator. The truth of the matter is, the search continues. We still don't have one. We've had a lot of guys' names come up, a lot of names we don't know of, and we're still waiting to see what's going to happen. The Eagles are still looking for an offensive coordinator. And while a lot of people panic and say, see, people don't want to be with the Eagles, the truth is, the Eagles just got to get this right. Just get the right guy in here. That, to me, is single-handedly going to set up this entire offseason. Okay? And for me personally, I wanted, of course, Mike McDaniel. He is off the board. We saw the ball withdraw his name. Now he may be back in it. We don't really know. If he is, great. If he's not, so be it too. I really don't care about the ball. But the two guys I would say, as of yesterday, that I was hoping the Eagles would go after, they both have withdrawn their names from contention for the offensive coordinator position. Diana Rossini wrote this: LSU offensive coordinator Charlie Weis Jr. spoke to the Eagles about their offensive coordinator vacancy, but informed the team he has chose to remain with Lane Kiffin and the Tigers. Now, that doesn't mean they offered him a job, but he doesn't want it, so they're not going to talk about it to him anymore. And then you've got Bears Declan Doyle, DeLorean Doyle is what I call him, has withdrawn his name from consideration for the Eagles' offensive coordinator vacancy per sources. Doyle opted to remain in Chicago, working with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. And this one, that kind of hurts me a little bit because I was actually really, really excited about what we've heard of DeLorean Doyle, because sounds like he's young, sounds like he's got a lot of upside, and I know some people want an experienced play caller, somebody that's just going to get this offense to be competent. Many people think with this defense you have, if you can just make this offense competent, they're going to win a lot of games. But I was actually kind of excited about Doyle because it seems like he's got a lot of upside. Jeremy Fowler wrote this: was told DeLorean Doyle's interview with Philly was highly impressive. He's on track for a head coach interview next cycle, so staying put makes sense in that regard. Wouldn't surprise if the Eagles prioritize play calling experience at this stage, first on Doyle staying in Chicago. So, one of the things that we have to consider about some of these guys and some of the moves that the Eagles do make is some of these guys are fast-tracked to get a head coaching job. Now, I wanted the Eagles, when it came to the defensive coordinator of the future, I wanted the Eagles to go out, give Christian Parker more money, and basically tell him, wait it out until Vic Fangio's gone, and then you could be the defensive coordinator. But the truth is that wasn't going to work because there's a good chance that next year Christian Parker is a head coach. So he's not going to wait around to be a defensive coordinator when he's another guy that is really fast-tracking to being a head coach. So it is what it is. It is frustrating. I know. It definitely is. Here's some, I think, good news. Eagles are promoting Joe Casper to be their defensive game coordinator and defensive back coach per source. Casper, strong work with Philly safeties rewarded. Now he makes another rise, taking over the room with Christian Parker, now Cowboys defensive coordinator. Now, I said it was good news, but the truth is the Eagles, we haven't had good news in a long time, really. Like, the last really good news to get excited about as an Eagle fan was It was when we got Jalen Phillips in a trade. After that, everything has seemed to be kind of negative, really. So we need some good things to happen, you know. And the Eagles even went as far as trying to interview the Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator. Jeremy Fowler wrote this. The Eagles requested to interview Cowboys offensive coordinator Clayton Adams for the offensive coordinator job, but the Cowboys blocked the request per league sources. Dallas finished second in total offense and values Adams. Now, Adams doesn't call plays in Dallas, which might have made the job appealing in Philly because he would have had that chance. But the truth is, Dallas has a right to block it because it's not a position. He's not being offered a position that's a promotion. He's basically being offered a lateral move. And when you offer guys lateral moves, teams have a right to block it. But if you offer them a promotion like Christian Parker got with Dallas, you can't stop it. So that's why the Eagles went out and didn't block Christian Parker, but Dallas was able to do that. It's just the way it goes, you know. And speaking of the way it goes, I love collecting baseball cards. I love it. I've loved it ever since I was younger, and I'm getting back into it for this reason and this reason alone. You know, growing up, I was obsessed with baseball cards, football cards. I would use every penny, every allowance dollar to go out and buy cards so I could be ripping them at the card shop, just praying for that one big hit, that one big card. Man, I wish we had something like this back when I was growing up, and I'm talking about Fanatics Live. And thanks to today's sponsor, Fanatics Live, this is honestly the most fun, easiest way to get back into collecting. I think I'm going to be doing it. Even if you're just starting out, it's 24/7 live streaming where you can jump in and rip packs with your host right on screen. They've got instant rips. Every digital pack you buy has a real professionally graded card inside. You see the floor and the ceiling value before you even hit buy. Then bam! The host rips it live for you. The card shows up instantly in your collection. From there, you can keep it, have it sent to you, or you could sell it right back to them for credit. All right, you know what I say. Let's rip. Let's do it. We gotta get something here. We gotta get something good here. Let's see what we got. All right, come on, let's go. All right, here we go. Aaron Rodgers. All right. Top 50th, top football, 50th anniversary, tops, near mint, 8. I'll take it. That could be very, very valuable in the future. And the best part, for new users, you get a free Instant Rips pack graded card inside just for downloading the app and joining your first stream. Hit the link in the description, download the Fanatics app, and come rip with me. Now, one thing I can't stress enough with Fanatics Live, their cards are graded and authenticated. PSA, BGS, all those. They authenticate all those cards, which should give you a peace of mind. It does to me. Now, as far as the offensive coordinator position goes, and what I want, or who do I want at this point, I got to tell you, I think the guy to go after right now, and he's actually interviewing for a Browns head coaching job, so that may be a problem. But Nate Scheelhaase of the Rams may be the guy, the passing game coordinator of the Rams. Could be the perfect coach to come in and be the offensive coordinator. Now, he's young, and I'm okay with that. But here's the thing. I look at yesterday's games, right? And I'll say the NFC Championship game specifically. Both those teams, both those offenses and those passing offenses are light years ahead of what the Eagles have. They're light years ahead. And I'm going to say this too. I think the Eagles, from a talent perspective, they can compete with both those teams. Not only can they compete, I think they can beat both those teams. It's the offense and the coaching that has been the problem. And the reason why the Eagles, who should be repeating, because this would have been an easy Super Bowl, they should be repeating. That should be the Eagles playing in the Super Bowl. I really feel that way. But the coaching let us down. And when Nick chose Patullo, he did so out of arrogance, in my opinion, wanting to take care of his friend, but also arrogance. The same kind of arrogance you saw when he said, nah, we don't need a third. We don't need the second seed. We're okay with the 3 seed. We don't need the extra home game. That's not important. Okay? That arrogance was the same arrogance that he had when he hired Patullo. Because when he hired Patullo, what did we say? And I'm guilty of this arrogance myself. And I've been humbled, I'm just going to tell you. But what did I say? It doesn't matter that Patullo's the offensive coordinator because teams already know what the Eagles are going to do, but they can't stop them. They know the Eagles are going to run the ball, but they can't stop it. And I think Nick thought that. I think a lot of people thought that. And the truth is the offensive line wasn't that good, and it's probably your biggest need to fix this season in the offseason. And the truth is, we didn't have it. And when Patullo then had to be a good coach, he couldn't do it. And that screwed our season. So we need to get in a guy that knows what the hell he's doing, especially in that passing game. Nate Scheelhaase, to me right now, would probably be my number 1 or 2 candidate. I think Joe Brady is another guy out there that we haven't heard anything about. I would love to get him as well in. But we're going to have to see. And I think that there's a good chance, because I know people want Frank Reich because they want consistency at the offensive coordinator position. I just don't think we're going to get it. I think we're going to have to get somebody, and if they come in and they're successful, they're probably going to get a head coaching job in 1 year. This is going to be one of the things that as winners we're going to have to deal with. And believe me, the Eagles, if they get this offseason right, if they tweak this right, starting with an offensive coordinator, they're going to find themselves right back in the championship game and hopefully a Super Bowl. Okay? The Eagles also interviewed offensive coordinator Frank Smith of the Dolphins. Ian Rappaport wrote this. The Pound Eagles interviewed Pound Dolphins offensive coordinator Frank Smith for their vacant offensive coordinator job, per insiders. A key lieutenant to Mike McDaniel, Smith could bring McDaniel's version of the scheme to Philly. This is another one possible hire that I'm very open to because, as you guys know, I think Mike McDaniel would have been the perfect hire. I think the Eagles thought the same thing, and we're on the same page. He just didn't want to be here. And I don't think it was Philly specifically. The guy turned down the opportunity to be a head coach with Josh Allen. Okay, I think he wanted to go out west. I do. So that's another possibility of somebody that I don't think would be a bad guy to promote. I really don't. You know, and I'm just scouring to see if anything's coming in last second, you know, and really it's not. It's we've got to find the right guy and we've got to get it right, you know. I thought those championship games yesterday, I just thought that passing game of the Seahawks and of the Rams are light years ahead of us. Talent-wise, they're not. Okay, and I would love to talk about all the players we need to go out and get and trade for and this and that and draft, but I feel like we can't do any of that until we know who our offensive coordinator is. Okay, I really feel that way. As far as like who it's going to end up being, I have no idea at this point. Right, DeBall could swoop in. Now, a lot of people are saying, well, Brian DeBall's back, you know, in the mix. And a lot of people are high on Brian DeBall. And I don't think he's a bad offensive coordinator. I think he would be okay. I think he would do a good job. He would be light years ahead of Patullo. My issues with DeBall are that I feel like he screwed the Eagles over before, refusing an interview when they wanted to interview him for a head coaching job. And then, you know, he was out of it. Now he's back in it. I feel like I question if it's sincere. Is he really back in the mix, or is he just using the Eagles to try to get another job? That's what I want to know. We know people love to do that. So the search continues, and it should be This should be an interesting week. Hopefully, we get the right guy. That's all I care about. I don't care if it takes another 2 weeks. I just want the right guy. And, the guy didn't want to come. What are you going to do? As far as my channel goes this week, we are kind of getting back on track. We're going to be doing live stream Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, early afternoon, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays again. So look for that. And it should be an interesting week. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, Howie Vision, baby. We're all just living in it. Oh, I want to give a huge shout out to Sam Darnold. I do. Because we talk about quarterbacks that have to show that they could win in big games. And over the last 2 years on 2 different teams, Sam Darnold has put up great numbers, right? He's won a lot of games. Went into that Minnesota playoff game, was horrible, right? So I thought it was a fair, legit question. Like, what has he got in pressure situations? And when a guy goes out and proves that he can win big games, you got to give him credit, all right? This guy went out in the playoffs and showed you. In the championship game, he was great, okay? And he's probably going to win a Super Bowl now. So Sam Darnold, I would now put in the elite category because he's won and done it 2 years in a row on 2 different teams. And now he's showing you, unlike a Dak Prescott, that he can actually win games in the playoffs when it matters the most. So you got to give him credit. No doubt about it. Denzel Washington out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.